Hello, everybody. Welcome to Costume Cult General Meeting number 9 and the last meeting before we all see each other in the dust. Welcome, everybody. I hope all of you are getting your things together and your bins packed and any last minute things that you need to do to have an amazing burn. And we are going to have an amazing burn. We have a really great crew. We have a really great team. We have really great leads. Everything is really coming together. I always say that the container is when it kind of starts getting real, and this year is absolutely no exception. So we have a lot of, this meeting is going to serve, this is being recorded. This meeting is going to serve to do any last minute, inform you of any last minute things, general things, getting to camp, what to expect. It's 18 days until the man burns. I remember not so long ago, it was 100 and something. And now we are a little over 2 short weeks away, actually a week and a half away. So today we're going to be going over build week, bikes, camper expectations, what we expect of you, what you should expect of yourselves and your fellow campers. That includes shifts, water education, arriving, departing camp, the also important breakdown, camp pendant updates, and other things going on at the burn that we are a part of. Either we're doing it ourselves or adjacently. Build week. So build week is Friday to Monday of this week. That is going to be, we already have, Mariana is already on her way to Reno. I will be arriving in Reno on Saturday. I will not be there until, I will not be on Playa until next week. I'll be doing things in Reno. But Friday to Monday is when the leads really start getting everything squared away. That's shopping in Reno to feed people during build week. That's checking in with placement. We can't set up anything in Playa till we actually check in with placement and go through that process. Camp layout mapping, David Gomez and the rest of the DPW team have been working their butt off to make sure that we know where everything is, how we're going to be placed, all that stuff, which is really great. Set up kitchen and first pod. So when we get to Playa, the first thing we do is set up the kitchen. And we, at Burning Man, there's kind of like the golden spike, which is the first thing that gets done. The very first spike that goes in the ground at Burning Man. That's right where the man is, and then everything is mapped off of that. At Costume Cult, we do the kitchen first. Kitchen is first, and first pod. First pod is where everybody who is there during build week will live until their pod is built. And that is, so that it's like a temporary structure. It is there to keep us safe and sheltered from the elements while build week is happening. And then as the various pods get built, people will move everything into their, whatever pod it happens to be, all the thongs or, mirror menagerie, et cetera, et cetera. And then we're also going to be unpacking the containers. So that's Monday. Monday is basically unpacking the containers and making piles of stuff. And then by Wednesday, first pod set up, kitchen is set up, and those piles of stuff now start to become actual things, actual projects. So Monday and Tuesday is set up second pod, set up kitchen. We should be getting our potable water on Tuesday. And possibly our electric. Sometimes electric doesn't get there until Wednesday. If we do not have electric by Tuesday, then we will have a generator for power tools and all that. If water's not there for some reason, we will have ample, 1 gallon or 5 gallon containers of water. No one's going to die of thirst. We will have power. We will be able to set up everything. Unpacking containers. Containers are packed in the order in which they're going to be unpacked. So, people who are going to be there Monday, their stuff goes in last, frontage goes in frontage, everything, all of that. So everything gets removed from the containers. And then we lay out then we also start laying out frontage at that point. We make the pile of stuff for the K train. We make the pile of stuff for the circus tent. We make the pile of stuff for DJ, some of the not the DJ booth, but Empire State Building. All the things start getting laid out. At that point, Max will start laying out the power grid, which is obviously important. And it's basically getting everything laid out. That's Monday and Tuesday. And then we also get together the teams who are going to be doing those various things. Wednesday, we set up the third pod. We set up center shade, power grid, workshops, frontage work continues. Thursday, pod setup continues. We start doing the showers, the water heater, the gray water evap, central shade interior, which is the Playa Tech, which are these seats and chairs and seats that are kind of like packed flat. We do lighting, and then by Friday, it's mainly buttoning everything up. Monday people absolutely bust ass. Monday people do a lot of work because you're mainly just doing a lot of manual labor. You're trying to get everything kind of out of the containers, and many hands make light work. So when the Wednesday people get there, if you're coming in Wednesday, just be mindful of the fact that Monday people have been there for 2 days doing a lot of that labor, and really be ready to chip in, and they will know exactly they'll tell you what needs to be done. The various leads who are working on various projects, be game, be ready to be ready to go. When you get to Playa, you do want to make sure that you have certain things. You want to make sure that you have your work gloves. You want to make sure you have water, goggles, anything that you might need. Container does occasionally show up late. It has happened. I think it's happened twice, only once when I've been around, but it took several days for it to get there. It took until Saturday because the train literally broke down and the container had to be put on a different train, and it was a whole thing. So when you get to Playa, have a go bag, have your work gloves, have your camelback, have your goggles, whatever it is you need for that day. We will have a total of 77 people for build week, which is great. That's kind of exactly the right number that we want to have to get everything done. Saturday people, when you arrive, if you're arriving Saturday or Sunday, like you're coming into the Burner Express, don't arrive on the Burner Express and immediately set up your tent and all your stuff. Get your stuff situated in a safe place, but be ready to help the people that have been there literally all week building the camp for you. Arriving Saturday, nothing wrong with that, but just if there will be stuff to be done, some of it urgent, some of it not so urgent, just be mindful of being ready to kind of help out whenever possible. And then by Sunday, we should be in a really, really good shape, and we should have the costume tent set up at that point. It should be mainly housekeeping things for the most part, getting everything fluffed, getting everything ready to go for really, really great burn week. Bike pickup and drop off.
Yeah, I got this one.
Go for it.
Can you please remove the pins so we can see everyone's face? Poor Ginny. I'm sure she was trying to figure out how to remove herself for the past 10 minutes.
It's you now. So there you go.
Yeah. Okay. I want to see everyone. Okay. So great. For bike pickup drop off. So only a few of you decided to sign up for this. Good for you. So if you did so and you're arriving during build, find me or Veronica between 10 and noon, and we'll get you your bike. Please note that the bikes have no in the past had never had an order number, so it's kind of first come first served, and we truly don't know what to expect when we open the semi truck. They literally put all the bikes inside with all the things, with the what's in it, the locks, and then it gets delivered to Playa. And as soon as it gets there, if we are available, we'll get you your bikes. But the delivery is Bill Week Monday of the 21st, and like I said, 10 to noon, just because we want to make sure we don't stop every 30 minutes to do that, to check in or check out a bike. Then when the burn starts, so Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, we have dedicated people who are going to help you. Like I said again, like I said before, and I'm saying it again, from 10 to noon. You get there later, you will have to beg them if they're not busy to give you your bike. We want to be able to like move forward and get other things done. And then for checkout, we will start checking out bikes on Friday. And like I said, 10 to noon. You can find Micah Eduardo on Friday to check out. On Saturday, you can find Talia or Walker. And then Sunday, David or Walker. And if you don't know who they are right now, you'll find out by Monday of the burn, or maybe Wednesday. So, well, I make sure to shout out during dinner time, so you know who to find for your bikes. But please, 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 stick to the schedule. We want to make sure that we are able to do other stuff that other than checking in and checking out bikes. Then you are responsible for lighting them up and making them visible. You are responsible for making sure you have all your little things to make noises and make them looking cool, and to keep them safe and logged in. And if you only get your deposit if you return the bike to the semi truck. And we're going to have a system to check in and check out, and we will tag each bike with the name of the camper, another name of the camper. We're gonna make like number of bikes, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then whenever you go pick up, we say, okay, Jeannie got number 3, and then we expect that she returns number 3. So like I said, don't miss that, because the container with the bikes is picked up on Monday, and the time is just burner time, so it's safer to have all the bikes in the semi truck on Sunday by noon. Okay, questions on this? Great. We can move forward.
All right. Burner Express bus. So Saturday, the KK Burner Express bus, we do have our own bus. It will be picking people up on Saturday from GSR. I believe that is 10 o'clock in the morning. Now, it's very, very important that you have a will call ticket. If your ticket is from will call, you must have that ticket. They will not let you on the bus unless you have a physical ticket in hand. That means that you must get your will call ticket at the Burner Express will call at the Reno Airport pickup location when you land at the airport. If you land late at night and they're no longer open, then you'll need to go there first thing in the morning before you go to the Burner Express bus and get your ticket. Will call opens at 9 a.m. on Saturday. So yes, there's not a huge amount of time to get your ticket and get to GSR, but you need to make sure that you have your ticket in hand. I don't know how many will call folks we have. It's not a huge number, but just so you know, they will not let you on the bus without your ticket, and they will not stop.
Is will call open on Friday and Thursday before Saturday?
No, it's not. It opens on Saturday, because that's when at the Burner Express in the airport, because that's when the Burner Express starts operating.
Yeah,
how do you get your ticket before then if it's will call?
You either have to go to the gate in BRC and get your ticket from will call and go back to Reno, or about Saturday, your only way is literally going to the airport, be there before 9, get your ticket, and take a ride back to the GSR. Like I said in the last meeting, the GSR has a free shuttle. So if you're staying there, And even if you're not, you can literally go to the lobby and get on their shuttle that departs at 8 in the morning. You'll be at the airport at 8:10 or 8:15, and you get your ticket at 9 and get on the next GSR shuttle if it's next. If not, take a quick Uber and you'll be there by quickly.
Yep,
And
it is a
and
pretty
so
quick.
are all ticket buyers registered, so their ticket is waiting for them, or they have the same database as they would have at the gate? So you can get it either there or the gate.
They will have it as any of, like, the same Wilco is everywhere. They
Yeah.
just have one window in the thing in the airport for Wilco, and it's the same system.
But you cannot get on the Burner Express without a ticket. So you must get your ticket before you get on that bus.
And hopefully it's not playa time when they finally arrive to open up that 9 a.m. window, but yes.
Yes. Okay. So that's very, very important. If you have a will call, get your ticket. If you have a will call and you're on the Burner Express bus, you need to do a little hustling on Saturday morning. Camper shift expectations. Volunteer hours. We actually have Tiss on this call.
Yes, I am here.
Tiss, would you like to talk about this?
Sure, if you give me 1 second, I will turn on my camera. I just need to go to my office.
Tiss has done an amazing job with Tiss designed the shift schedules, spreadsheet, and she is all on top of this, so she can talk about it much better than I can.
Okay, so the biggest thing is show up for your shifts, guys. This is our camp. The only way it runs is if we have people to work the shifts to make everything operate, and that is us to do that. There's no one else that's going to come in and work these shifts and run the camp for us. So please, please, please show up for your shifts. If you don't, that's just adding extra weight for your campmates to have to pull. They have to work harder. You don't want to do that. They don't want you to do that. You don't want other people to do that. So please, please, please set reminders on your phone. Do whatever you have to do to make sure that you are there. Best to be a few minutes early. If you do miss a shift, because things can happen, extreme situations aren't completely unheard of. If you do have to miss a shift, just make sure you, first of all, have a good reason. Don't say, well, I got drunk last night and I overslept. That's not a good reason. I broke my ankle getting off an art car last night and I've been in Reno getting it casted is a good reason. So make sure if you can't be there, there should be a good reason for it. But basically, if you do have to miss, as fast as you can, as soon as you can, find a lead so that we can get you rescheduled. That will be how you buy forgiveness, by making sure you reschedule and are willing to still work those hours. If you don't find us, we will find you, I promise. So that's it. We're going to print the schedules out fairly large and have them posted somewhere in center shade, and possibly have regular size ones available in the pods.
Okay, thank you very much, Tess. Okay, so water conservation. We will be in a desert. We are 10 principles camp. Part of that is trying to conserve. That is trying to make sure that the resources we have are used wisely and we're not just wasting things. We will be doing composting this year. We will be doing water conservation when possible, whenever humanly possible. And part of that is just having a good plan. Part of that is using water efficiently. We provide water for cooking, drinking, showers. Water management is everything in the desert. Please read. You can go ahead and read about water in the KKBM23 resource page. The link will be at the end of this presentation. But that being said, we will provide ample water for every camper. That is part of your cost sharing. That's why we do this. That's why we have economies of scale. So the showers, we do have wonderful showers that were made by one of our DPW folks, Max Bruno. I'll be getting to that in a minute. but conserving water, cooking, you know, when you're cooking in the kitchen, the leads in the kitchen will show you how to conserve water when cleaning dishes or when doing anything for that matter. Drinking, when it comes to drinking, drink as much water as you need. I really mean that. It's not, you know, conserving water does not extend to you having enough, you staying hydrated, being okay in playa. You know, you're always dehydrating out there. The reason that, you know, you don't feel that hot in the desert as you do here is because as soon as you sweat, it gets evaporated, and you're always going through tons of water. You know, you should always, there's saying, which is, you know, pee clear, you know, your pee should always be clear. And maybe that sounds gross, but it's true. That says that you are hydrated sufficiently. You know, if you find yourself getting angry, you know, getting irritable a little easier than usual, you know, lethargic, you know, drink some water. You know, signs of dehydration is a real thing out there. In 2017, I know at least 3 or 4 people who had to get rehydrated at Rampart. We'll actually be right next to Rampart this year. So, you know, but if you see someone not doing that well, or, you know, kind of out of it, you know, find out when they say, hey, you know, are you hydrated? Or, you know, or do you, get them into shade, stuff like that. You know, the desert is always trying to kill you, literally. And we always want to make sure that we're looking out for people, fellow campers, and making sure that everyone's doing okay. It's really hard to have a good burn if you're dehydrated and irritable and, you know, aren't taking care of yourself in the midst of all the awesome stimulating things that are out there. Showers. This year we have RFID showers. They are hot showers. They are activated via bracelet. We will be handing out those bracelets. I'll get to that in a little bit. Those showers, you will get 10 minutes of shower time. And the way that you make, and 10 minutes, that may not sound like a lot, but it really, really is. When you're showering, the way to shower efficiently, wet yourself, lather yourself, rinse yourself. There's the showers, once you swipe your RFID wristband, the time will not actually start until you hit the button. There's a start and a stop button. There's a start-stop button. So you swipe your wristband and then hit the button, water will turn on. Nice hot water, plenty of it, and get yourself nice and wet, hit the stop button. Lather your hair or other parts of your body, scrub it up. And then when you're ready, hit the button again and rinse yourself off. You can do that as many times as you like. You get 10 minutes.
Pro tip, use washcloths. Use washcloths, much more effective than just trying to squirt it off.
That is absolutely true. Washcloths are great. They're also great for removing the layer of playa dust that will be on you at that point, or any stubborn dirt, and it'll make your water usage more efficient. If more water is needed, like if you screw up and accidentally turn on your water and can't get to turn off and you're blowing through your minutes or something like that, you know, leads will be able to add shower minutes as needed. Please mute yourself if you're not talking. On an as needed basis. But you know, it's 10 minutes should be plenty for pretty much anybody. It's actually more than we would normally offer. That's 15 gallons of water. That is, if you have a 2-gallon shower bag, that's literally 7 showers. So it's the same amount of water as you would use with a regular shower bag if you showered every single day. So right now we're just trying to get like a baseline of what water usage is going to be like with this new system. If anyone has any questions about that, you can talk to myself or another lead, and happy to go over it. It's an important topic. What happens if water runs low? Water can run low if there is a leak. A faucet was not closed completely, although I hope we would notice that because it would create a giant puddle. Non-designated personal water use. You know, the water is for cleaning yourself. It's not for cleaning all of your things. That's what wet wipes are for. You know, you want to clean off, you know, whatever it is you need to clean. do it with wipes, do it with Windex, do it with whatever. Water is not to clean every single thing you have, because it's just getting covered in playa dust 5 minutes later. General overuse of water, high levels of use during peak period. And we have a giant tank. We have I believe it's a 500-gallon tank. That's a huge amount of water. Occasionally that water might get low. When we see it getting low, we will call the water company and they will come and they will deliver more water. They're usually very good about that. If we see water getting below a certain amount, we will go into water conservation mode. And that is basically, we may shut down the showers. We may tell the kitchen to only do essential water. We can always order more water. That's always possible. They are on playa. We do a contract with them. It is a thing. There will be no scrambling for water, but it can sometimes take time if they're behind in their deliveries. And it's important that if we see water getting low, we have to place that order, that we may need to restrict water in various ways. That does not include, you can always fill up your Camelback. You can always, whatever you need to make sure you're hydrated. Life safety is our number one concern. Your safety is our number one concern. So that's not going to be a problem. But just, showers, showers aren't in use, we're waiting for water delivery. Please don't get upset with whoever told you that. Just understand that there's a reason for it, and it will be taken care of in a reasonable amount of time. Gray water. Gray water is anything that is not sewage, basically. That's any kind of water waste. That is the runoff from your shower. That is the water from your ice bucket, from your ice cooler. All of those things. If you have water from your, if you have water from your ice cooler, and if you have water from your ice, from your cooler, and you have an evap cooler, use your, and you need to fill your evap cooler. If you made a Fig Jam bucket, or if you have a larger evap cooler, use the water from your ice chest, from your drink cooler. It will work that much better. It'll be nice, it'll be nice and cold. Your evap cooler will work that much better. If you do need to empty your cooler, do not empty your cooler in one space on playa. It will cause a divot in the playa. It'll cause a depression. That is a giant pain in the ass to fill in. If you do need to empty your cooler for whatever reason, you should try and shush it around, like kind of just, do it. Yeah. Put your cooler on a wagon and open the cooler and run around. Get it spread out. So it all gets distributed evenly, and there are no giant puddles of playa, which just turn into a big muddy mess. Ice. We do not provide your ice. Ice runs will be, we are luckily relatively close to ice. 6:30 this Arctica on the 6 o'clock axis. And we're at 6:45. So we will have, carts for ice. If you have if you have an electric bike, you can strap it to the back of your bicycle. You can try and doing it with your pod is probably for the best. If you have like a shared communal cooler in your pod and you send someone to get ice, that'll last you a good long while, getting it done in one batch. And also, there will be also ice runs, of course, for camp on a regular basis. Arrival expectations. What to
I got
expect?
this one. Yes.
Pardon?
Oh,
You got it?
Yes, I got it.
All right. Arrival expectations. I'll turn that over to Maria.
Okay. Can you move to the next slide, please? Yep. Okay. So if you're driving, I'm sure David already figured out where he's going to put your car. So please check in with your pod lead when you arrive to playa before parking. Like, try to get yourself somewhere out of the fire or service lanes, block them. This could delay deliveries of anything, or they'll use it as an excuse to skip the whole delivery. So please, please, please don't park randomly around camp. And if you have to run to find your pod lead, try to do your best to park in a safe area to know where to put your car for the entire week. So
And put your name on the dashboard, your name and pod and phone number and everything.
yeah, so like Jim said, leave some information around like who's the owner of the car. But please, the most important part is do not block the fire service lane. You can go to the next slide, Jean. Then that's the first one. Arrival to camp. So we all know that Jim said that we're going to, when you arrive, most people have been there for like a week already. They're tired, we're thirsty, we're hungry, we're whatever it is. I'm sure you are too, because we never know where you have to go through before you got to Playa. So it's very important that you take a moment to acknowledge you made it there, find the center shade, know where you're going to go every morning and every night of your time in Playa, and get familiar with it. Try to find yourself where the water station is, or if you see somebody that looks like they've been there for a minute and you're going to know who they are, ask them where's the water, and you'll go see it. Refill your water bottle and go check where the porta potties is. Use them. Don't just look at them, use them right away, and just start getting ready to the experience. We agree after some consideration that people should have between 60 to 90 minutes when they arrive to kind of gather all their shit and put it in one place and kind of take care of themselves, and kind of put their luggage in their pod, find their pod, get their bin if there's time, put them in their pod. And if you have one of those cool ass tents that you just like build, like you just open and they build, open it. But there's no time to decorate, fill out your mattress, go buy ice. There's no time for that at that moment. Get your tent up, literally, and try to get yourself ready. Just think about your person before your 10. Your 10, you're going to have so much time to figure that out, and you're barely going to be there. So please, please, please take some time to acknowledge you made it. Drink water, use the porta potty, get familiar with the camp, and go relieve another camper that's been working. And this is truly the fun part, getting to work and seeing the fruit of your labor. You know, after 3 hours, you build this shit. So it's really fun, and volunteer for everything, of course. And we are all going to find a job for you. And if you don't know what to do or where to go, just ask. Say, hey, I have 2 hands and I'm free. Have my gloves on. What can I do? Show up to the kitchen, show up to the frontage, show up to the custom tent, and somebody's gonna have a job for you. So if you see me, ask me, what can I do? And I'll help you figure it out. But like I said, there's no time to decorate your tent. There's no time to go through your bins and figure out like your favorite socks or your lucky hat. No, get gloves, water, and get to work. Questions on that? No? Great. If we see anybody just sitting there texting their friends, I'm going to be like, hey, what are you doing? Want to come help? And that's going to be my call out to come help. Okay. Justin, stop asking silly questions. You know where the orgy dome is. Okay. So let's move on. Next one. Next slide. Okay. So we are not a festival. However, we do have wristbands. So there's so many camps and there's so many of us. So it's important to keep each other safe and keep our resources safe as well. So the way we identify each other at camp, because we have no perfect brains and can remember everyone's face and everyone's names, we will have wristbands. And these wristbands are really cool. Jim is bringing them. They are hot pink and black. He probably is going to find one and show it to you in the camera, but they're beautiful wristbands. And those are your kind of like ID for the camp to use our porta potties and to also grab your dinner. So it's not like nobody's going to be a bouncer, but if you see somebody that does not have a wristband, ask, say, hey, who are you here with? You know, this dinner is for campers. for our campers, or like, oh, these porta parties are for our campers, that kind of thing. And just protect our resources, is everyone's resources in our camp, but it's very easy to get other strangers. Of course, if you have visitors that are be with them, you have to be with your visitors the entire time they're at camp. Otherwise, somebody's gonna kick them out and they might not be nice. So do that. So one of the wristbands is for camp, and the day managers will have them, will give them their little bag with them in the kitchen with all their day managers little stuff like paper stuff, and you find the day manager and get your wristband. And the shower wristband is totally different, and that has no specific ID, it's just a color, and it has your allotted time. So those we are planning to give to pod leads. Why? Because pod leads know their people. So as you arrive, your pod lead should be able to give you your wristband. Questions? Great, no questions. All right, we can
Oh,
move
wait,
forward.
I have a quick question. Hey, sorry, just started. Yeah, quick question. What if we arrive after the day manager, the day lead? How will we get our wristbands?
Then you wait till the next day, or during dinner
Next day.
time, you find somebody who is that you know that is a lead to help you get your wristband.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, like I said before, after you are all set up, you get to work. You just grab your glove, your water, and go help front edge, costume tent, and kitchen. And even if you think you cannot be helpful, you'll be helpful. Even if you're just holding something, literally. The more hands we have, the faster we'll finish, and then the easier we'll get to have fun. So please just drink your water, use the restroom, and go help someone. We can move from that. Yeah, early departure before this one. Yeah. So before you leave Playa, return your bike, do your breakdown hours. If you don't know, go talk to Tis or go to the volunteer spreadsheet and figure it out. Pack and load your beans in the NYC container. Well, our KKMYC container, because there's gonna be two containers. One stays in Reno Garlic and another one NYC, and they're gonna be very obvious, and there's gonna probably be signage. So before you leave Playa, confirm that the container you're putting your bins is NYC container, and nobody's gonna put your containers in there. I mean your bins in there. So you are responsible to put them inside the container. Then take your luggage and your trash with you, not trash left behind. And then say bye to your friends and your pod lead. That's all. And then go Reno and eat a sandwich or soup or take a shower, whatever you want. But please return your bike, take your trash, your luggage, put your bins in the container, and tell someone that you're leaving so we know you didn't stay behind and you're trapped in the trash fence or whatever. So that's the expectation for any early departing campers. Then if we move to the next slide, we'll talk quickly about Monday departure. So you should start packing your personal stuff, and this applies to everybody, much earlier than the day that you're leaving. You should start putting things away, and that way you are not like rushing around to get your things in a container or in the bus or in your car or whatever it is. So please return your bike by Sunday. Start packing the latest by Saturday, and that's late. And take advantage of those hours where you want to be in the shade, where it's like very hot, or like there's no work. If you get up at 5 a.m. and you don't want to go to a party, start packing then, and get ready for going back to the default world. Load your bins, and then Sunday and Monday, we need everyone. Even if you sign up for Sunday and Monday, I think, but Trace will like confirm during his time in this presentation. There's specific tasks for certain people, and the rest of us are going to be just helping. And we really need everyone's help to get the fuck out of the playa. So please, please, please pack your stuff earlier than later and return your bike and put your things in NYC container. I know I'm repeating myself, but you're going to thank me later.
Can I jump in real quick, Maria? On Monday, everything that you have, whether it's your bins, your tent, whatever, every single thing you have needs to be on the container by like noon or 1 o'clock. So if you have a morning shift and you're working from 9 until 1, make sure that you are getting your things, you're getting up at 7 to get all your things packed or take your tent down or whatever, because you cannot be expecting to break down your tent and load your stuff onto the container at like 2:30 or 3 in the afternoon, because we have to get everything closed up. So just know that on Monday, if you're still there, you have to have everything you own on the container by like, I think 12 or 1 o'clock is the cutoff. So make sure you think about that when you have your shifts as well and plan for that.
Yeah, we can move to the next slide. Okay, Trace, this is
It's
your
a-
show now.
Perfect introduction because it helps me make the case for why we should all be working together on this. Look, breakdown is a big job. It takes 77 people to go out there for a week beforehand to build all this. We are all responsible for working together to tear it back down and make sure there's nothing left. So if we can go to the next slide, the purpose of this little set of slides is to basically try and familiarize everybody with what we've put together by way of a schedule. What we want to avoid is a no friends Monday type situation. We're going to try and attack it little piece by piece at a time. And hopefully by the time that the big job rolls around, which is on Monday, this is going to be quite easy. So the general idea is we're going to break things down, pack them up, try and take some sort of inventory to make sure that this gets easier year over year, and then load it in the container. Tis did a fantastic job making sure there were specific roles delineated. We have been chatting about this, and so everyone should be aware of what they have already signed up for on the Excel file that people have seen ad nauseum, hopefully at this point. I'm going to put a link in the chat right now, which provides some deeper info on what the breakdown schedule actually looks like. But I do want to emphasize again, this is really a team effort. So this is going to be coordination with the day leads. They should be talking to the sub captains, who should also be coordinating with the pod breakdown captains. I've spoken with at least one member of every pod, and there's, at least at this point, somebody designated to make sure that as folks start trickling out of the pods, there's a point of contact centrally for me to go to and say, hey, have you verified this person got their 10 stakes out of the ground, right? We want to avoid what happened last year. So that's the main role of those pod leads in particular. Now, the breakdown sub-captains are going to be responsible really for trying to organize a throng of people who are going to be devoted to tackling a specific task. And so I can provide some more information on what those breakdown sub-captains actually are going to be responsible for. It's going to differ by the specific task, of course, but the real motivating factor for getting those folks together is trying to provide some organization to what would otherwise be a fairly chaotic thing. Of course, we're going to have some flippers and demoopers, et cetera, but really this is all of us working together, trying to do it in as coordinated a fashion as possible, but everybody needs to step up. Next slide. Okay, be smart about clothing, right? So please wear work gloves. It's going to be hot, and please keep in mind that the shade is going to become progressively less and less throughout the day. So you are going to need to provide some of your own sun protection. Make sure you have a wide brimmed hat, something that covers your neck, sunglasses, a bandana that you can dip in the water and keep your face cool, this kind of thing. Please no open-toed shoes. Aside from the risk of fly afoot, we're going to be carrying around some heavy objects, so we don't want to end the burn with a broken toe because something fell on your foot. Note that the schedule that we've put together is subject to change, right? We can't control the weather, and it may make sense to try and tackle certain projects if there's a dust storm and move on to something else. So I'm going to be walking around, particularly on Monday, trying to make sure that everyone's coordinated. But the things that you have signed up for, it may be a little bit different on the day of, but we'll try to avoid that. And most importantly, take care of yourself. This is going to be a lot of work, but we want to make sure that people stay hydrated, take breaks when you need to, and otherwise, try to make it fun. This is all our last opportunity on the playa to work together on something big. So, try to have some fun with it where possible. Next slide. All right, I'm just going to march really briefly through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then what things look like on Monday. We're going to start peeling back the layers on breakdown on Friday. Really, this is focusing on after the top costume tent closes until dinner. Again, anybody leaving early, just I would ask that the pod leads verify those folks have left, and make sure that all of their personal belongings are on a container in their car, no tent stakes in the ground, etc. The main things we're going to focus on for Friday are starting to break down the costume tent and then the runway stage. You can see the individuals responsible for that, certainly here, but also on the sign-up sheet that Tiss sent out earlier. Next slide. Starting to escalate on Saturday, Tiss is going to step in as acting breakdown lead for this entire day. So please go to her with help coordinating things. If you find that you have too many people on one task, not enough on another, this is a perfect opportunity to reach out and see if we can relocate people to help. You can see in the bullet points in the middle there, the main tasks that we're going to be focusing on. We're going to start breaking down the costume tent even more, start getting into some DPW specific tasks. Obviously, there's going to be dedicated people responsible for MOOP. And what's unique about Saturday is we're going to have some dedicated folks responsible for trying to make a start of inventory and also container load in. And I have some brief information about that, the way in which we'd like this to work on the following slide. So I alluded to this earlier, but what we'd like to do is to avoid a situation where we just don't have any idea where anything is or what's in every container. So we don't want to make this any more complicated than it needs to be. So we're going to try and implement a very simple, inventory process. Option one is if you are responsible for the inventory role on that day, and if you have a camera on a phone or something like this that you don't mind breaking out, all we would ask is that you take a brief snapshot of something as it goes into the container. At the end of the day or at the end of the burn, the ask would be that all these photos are sent to a central location. Then we can discern what has been placed in any container after the fact. If you don't want to break out your phone, various reasons for that. I will be bringing some clipboards with just some paper and, very simple method, just write down what you see, any notable information as it goes into the container. And we're going to be trying to provide some information ahead of time where possible to make sure that we and certainly people doing container load in are in a broad sense aware of what's going into the New York bound containers versus staying in Nevada. Next slide. Okay, Sunday, same deal, just slowly escalating. You can see that we're going to start moving into the kitchen now, more DPW, waterworks stuff, the audio system, miscellaneous. This is going to be a collection of people that are working on things that I didn't think about ahead of time, but absolutely will come up. And of course, additional container load in and inventory roles, which leads into the big day itself on Monday on the next slide. And I just wanted to call out the folks who've stepped into leadership roles here. Really appreciate you folks trying to coordinate what I think could otherwise be a fairly chaotic day. But I actually have a lot of confidence at this point that it's going to go very smooth. I'm not worried about people, descending into chaos. I think it's going to be really straightforward, particularly given that we've done all this work ahead of time before we get to Monday. Next slide. You can see the main things on the task list here are really the remainder of pods, kitchen, frontage, etc. More container load in. We're going to be trying to coordinate disposals and donations. Porta potties and gray water are going to be handled externally. And then it ends with the final MOOP sweep. If we can go to the next slide. This is really an essential part of breakdown, and Aaron is going to be playing a pivotal role in making sure this goes smooth, but this is really also going to be a coordinated effort. Everyone on the team, we should all be demooping constantly. I forgot that INOT has some kind of acronym for this. I wish you can put it in the chat. I don't remember. Always be something, always be searching for MOOP or something like this. But basically, we really need to do something all together to make sure that we're not leaving little particulate matter on the desert floor. And this is going to be something we will do and do and do until we're confident that we've got everything. Next slide.
The record's six sweeps. You get all the micro move that was a result of some wood project, and it gets done. It just can take a while, but it's very, very important we do that.
Okay, Maria mentioned this a little bit, but trash disposal is something that you are responsible for, right? This is a leave no trace event. If you bring it in, you need to bring it out. We really would recommend you use heavy duty trash bags. We don't want things breaking. For example, busting open in the bottom of the KK Express. Really must emphasize that if you are taking the burner bus out, you are absolutely responsible for taking the trash bags that you put on there back to your hotel or wherever you're going to put it. Do not leave them on the bus. Please utilize the resources at your disposal with respect to recycling and composting, and absolutely no general use of the camp dumpster. This is reserved for kitchen and larger camp items only. And then I think I have one final slide. So any questions, anything that's not contained in any of the documents you've seen here, I'm going to make myself available for breakdown office hours this Thursday. It's not mandatory, but if you have questions, particularly if you're serving in one of these breakdown lead roles and want to understand a little bit more about what it entails, want a preview of any of the major tasks, any questions that weren't addressed here, please feel free to join us on Thursday. It's going to be the last opportunity to try and get any of this out in the open before we all head out. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Trace. And great job. It's really, really great.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Trace. We don't deserve you. You have to stay here. It's in your contract. You can never leave.
Yeah, we'll double your salary.
Yes, 3 times.
Triple.
We
All
love
right,
you, Trace.
All right, so we're gonna turn this over to Costume Jim, who was gonna talk about pendants and anything else he wants to talk about. Jim?
Can you turn off the PowerPoint for a second?
Sure, one moment.
Just video for a second.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, yeah, we're transitioning from the work to art and fun. And before we get into that, I just want to say that it's really the work that changed everything for me. I mean, I've been part of this project since the beginning, and I've been here for the art and the fun, but it's when I really started to lean into the work that it changed for me, as far as being a better person, having other people see that you're just busting ass, so help you, and just not worrying about other people or this person isn't pulling their weight. Like, don't get down, just lean in, and it helps you grow as a person. And and afterwards you just feel so much prouder. Like, you pushed hard for those extra 2 hours. You feel so much better about it for the following year than if you're the person that, you know, snuck off and hid in the RV during breakdown. So really just think about the work and, you know, what you're here for. And then, yes, then the art and the fun comes, which of course really inspires us. So yeah, so go ahead, Gene, and turn the PowerPoint back on for the pendants. So just once again, here they are. They are now printed. They are metal made, and they're making their way to New York from wherever. And at some point this week, hopefully Friday night and then Saturday, we're going to have a stringing bagging party like we do every year at Jungle's apartment near Lincoln Center. And I'm looking for people that want to come out and help put those together. Actually, doesn't have to be people just in our camp. There'll be people who aren't going this year and so forth. But there are 800 of these to put into bags. And we put on the cords. We put them into little Ziploc baggies so that the cords don't get all tangled up. And that when you're out meeting people, you can quickly gift people. And I don't know, some people find the baggies also very useful out there. I'm not sure about that, but that's what it is. So what you're looking at here is a 2.5-inch pendant. We definitely tried to be as, an artistic representation of the actual Statue of Liberty, which of course is copper. It did turn green along the way. And then at some point they got rid of the old light up light at the top, put that in the museum, and then added this 14 karat flame at the top, which of course is just like ours. So that is real, not real. 14 karat gold at the top of this pendant. And I fully expect that the copper half of this will turn green, just like the Statue of Liberty torch, by the end of wearing it all week. So we do have a bunch of these to sell. Putting the link in the chat right now. And you're going to come to me if you don't get these. You're going to want them. You're going to ask me on Playa if you can buy them on Playa. The answer is no. I will, when in a few days, and we have about 200 of these more to sell now, I am going to open it up to other people in the New York community. So get them now, buy them. Honestly, people will love these, and it will be the best gift a lot of people get all week. And so you definitely do what you can to get these now. So so like I said, I'm looking for people to help with stringing and bagging, potentially Friday early evening, maybe in the afternoon into the evening on Saturday. And then I will try to get these handed out in New York as much as possible, because it's best just to get these things in pockets and rather than having to find people on Playa. So you can get in touch with me. I think my pod mate, Chris Theo Harris, already raised his hand to help me distribute these on Playa. So yes, these are coming. And this is the art that a part of the art that I contribute every year. This year with Bill Planche, Ben Planche, and several others who contributed to the original design. So thank you very much. And these will be awesome. And then next slide. And Stefan, are you here?
I am. I'm actually in the airport on my way to Reno. But I have about 10 minutes before my flight takes off, and I am happy to present the end of this meeting. This meeting is mandatory. Everything that was stated is important, but it is a lot of info. I'm going to hit you with a little more info, but it's all fun stuff. It's all interactive, wild opportunities that we have as a result of being part of Costume Cult. You'll see last year, the paradisium trees on the left, they were the biggest thing on the playa, and they gave us one of the trees to put costumes in every day. We made this whole key system. It was like a big it was a big puzzle on the playa. It was a lot of fun. The image on the right is the biggest art piece that's going out this year. It's called Babel. It's going to be 50 feet tall. We will have some interactivity with that, but everyone should know that the Black Rock Philharmonic is playing at Babel on Thursday at sunset, and they're burning it on Friday at 9 p.m. Next slide, please. Someone, okay. There is something called the Black Rock train station. It is all the way out at the trash fence. And it is this kind of eerie, mystical train station with train tracks that go to nowhere. There'll be an empty suitcase at the Black Rock train station. It will contain a note from a lost connection telling whoever finds the suitcase to take the items inside the suitcase. It is our responsibility as Costume Cult to refill this suitcase. So if you are heading out to the train station, you should take some extra costumes from a bin, which I will mark as BRC train costumes every day. And you just take some, throw it in your bike, go out to the train station, fill up this suitcase, and then hang around and watch people find it. It's really fun. Leave some gifts in there. People will leave gifts. It becomes this great interactivity that we own as Costume Cult deep in the playa. Next one. And Blackrock train station loves it so much that they are gonna have letters from the train station that KJ, who is on this call somewhere, will be stuffing into costumes randomly in the Costume Cult Dome that will direct people to that suitcase. So it's gonna create this whole interactive puzzle. And it's up to you whether or not you want to be part of it, but sort of the most fun thing at Burning Man for a lot of people. Next one. Golden Guy. There is this theme camp called the Golden Guy, and it is reminiscent of like an Asian street market with multiple booths and activations. They've asked Costume Cult to do a pop-up. They offered us Tuesday night. If somebody wants to grab some costumes and leave this, it can be so much fun. It's probably one of the cooler theme camps on the playa. People are still talking about it. They just showed up 2 years ago, I think. It reinvents what a theme camp is. So if somebody wants to lead that, reach out to me. I am not available at that Tuesday night, but it's a cool thing. We don't have to do it.
And one thing I would
Someone might
recommend, it doesn't necessarily just have to be about giving costumes, body painting or other fun activities. If you want that booth on Tuesday night, we will support whatever cockamamie idea you come up with.
All right, next slide. Oh, this is so much fun. Okay, there is an ultra marathon that's run at Burning Man every year for like the last 7 years. And what is an ultra marathon? It is 50 kilometers. That is more than a freaking marathon. And these people, there's like, every year the number's different, but I think the most they've ever had was 65 participants. They all camp at Pink Lightning, which is pretty close to us. And they run from sunrise to 9 a.m. on Tuesday. And they make this huge pink loop around the whole entire city. They're gonna run right in front of Costume Cult. I think it is our duty to have some sort of DJ tunes with running music, Eye of the Tiger playing, you know, things that you know, running on empty, you know, all these funny running tunes, and maybe we make some like anti liquid station. I don't know. It's a place for creative thinking. If anyone has ideas or wants to be part of that, and they should reach out to me. And even if you don't want to be part of what we're doing at Costume Cult, you got to get up and see these people run. It is crazy. It is what makes Burning Man so weird and odd and wonderful. Okay, next one.
If anyone's feeling ambitious, go look up funny marathon signs that you can hold up as they're passing. There's some pretty good ones out there. My favorite is this why question.
Next, okay. Oh, this one is my personal favorite because an amazing crew of people, myself, my wife, and our dearest and nearest have built this art piece called Exquisite Animalis. You can see on the top right, it is a 28-foot tall, spinning, interactive, layer cake of different animals with animal messaging. We are going to have 2 parties there, and everyone go back. Thank you. We're gonna have 2 parties there, and everyone from Costume Cult, of course, is invited because I love you all for being part of this camp. Tuesday sunrise, just before the ultra marathon, we will have Irish coffee being dispensed and a grilled cheese art car there, and DJs and sunrise tunes. And then Tuesday tequila sunset soiree with live music, a violinist, beatboxer, and games to play. So come join us, either or and. And the final slide, I believe, is what I referred to earlier, Babel. It will be the biggest art on the playa. And the Black Rock Philharmonic on Thursday. I think we're going to do something with them afterwards that will be on the whiteboard, which will be in center shade, which is sort of where I'm going to leave this. All interesting things that go on at Burning Man that you want to share with the camp, right on that whiteboard. We will have a big whiteboard right in center shade, and it's a chance for you to share your personal treasure that you found at Burning Man. There'll also be a lot of things listed there. If you're feeling uninspired and you don't know how to interact with the city, go check that board and go on a mission. It will reinvent your burn. And with that, I think I'm done, and I hope this meeting's done. Yeah. Next slide, please. Yes. All right. Anyone got questions?
I have a couple of PSAs because it never ends. We have our re-entry party on September 29th. So you're going to come back. You're going to be in love with everybody here. And note that we'll be at Brooklyn Monarch on Friday, September 29th. And this just in, we're doing a 2-day, centerpiece room at City of Gods for Halloween. So not announced publicly yet, but the City of Gods event with House of Yes will be part of that. So just save those dates.
All right. So we're going to open up to questions. One question that somebody, thank you, Jim. One question that somebody had asked was, what if someone needs to get a hold of somebody at Costume Cult, if there's a family emergency or something like that? There are 2 ways to do it. Camp leads at costumecult.com will be monitored daily, which means you might not get a response. It will be checked at least once a day. But if there is truly an emergency, your loved ones or anyone can email 911@burningman.org, which is literally for use in dire emergencies. And whatever that happens to be, they will come find us and let us know what is going on, one way or the other. We will have Starlink, so there is always that. The Starlink password will be changed every other day. It'll be put in center shade, and that's to prevent people from gifting it to the rest of Burning Man, which can overload the network. And that is pretty much it. So we're going to open up the questions now. Please put your questions in chat. Camp leads at costumecult.com and also 911@burningman.org. So if anyone has any other questions, please feel free to ask them now.
Just one reminder that everybody needs to get helicopter insurance. It's the difference between $50 and what is it, 35 grand?
35 grand. If you screw up, or shouldn't say screw up, if you get injured on Playa and you need to be airlifted to Reno, they will get you there in half an hour. That's along the helicopter. Oh, 47K. Okay. Well, yeah, it's 35 plus another 10 grand for the ambulance, but you're looking at over $45,000 unless you get the $50 insurance. So it's $50 for Burning Man insurance and $100 to include Build Week. If you go into the camper resources, it will be in there. It's AirMed Network, and you can go ahead and get that $50 insurance. That'll cover you for Burn Week, and $100 covers you for Build Week as well. Mark just put that in there. So when you go in there, that is actually hang on for 1 second. I don't know if that's the updated one, Mark. 1 second. You just check that out. That is not the updated one. I'm going to put the updated one. They didn't update their. I'm going to put it in chat right now. 1 moment. We'll get that into chat in a second, but you definitely want to get that insurance. Will you need it? Probably not, but if you do need it, it's something that you definitely definitely want to have, because you don't want that bill. You don't want that bill. You don't want to get that bill later. What else? Sorry, any other questions at this time?
One more PSA. I'm the leader of the Saturday inbound 10 a.m. bus. With one minor problem, I also have to get a will call ticket at 9 a.m. So I am looking for a co-lead for the inbound burner bus on Saturday. Anybody can get in touch with me just to basically stand there and be there if I'm waiting in line for my my ticket. And back to you, Gene.
Okay, so the Burning Man insurance, the Burning Man air evacuation insurance is in fact in the chat. So if you want to go ahead and get that, that's definitely a good idea. And what else do we have as far as questions go? Spare lights. Discount code for City of Gods yet? Soon? Not yet. We haven't even, that is down the line. But when it is available, we will let everybody know. It will be made very clear. The password is KKBM23. If you need to get to the camper resource guide, Mariana, that's all lowercase, just so you know. And confirmation email. If you bought it, you should have a confirmation. You might need to call them. There's a toll-free number on that webpage. If you want to get confirmation that your order actually did go through. But yeah. All right. Any other questions?
Is it too late to rent a bike from the Playa Bike Repair? Has our order been firmed?
Probably it's too late because we already made tags. It's like we don't know who they are, to be honest. If you haven't done it so far, then yeah, it's too late. You can try, but I cannot promise you that they'll be there. If the link it works for you, use it. But I don't know. I can't promise you that the bike will be at Playa. You will have to reach out to PBR yourself.
Okay. Anything else? Any other questions? All right. Here is the KKBM23 camper resources, the camper guide. You can go ahead and scan that link. The password is KKBM23, all lowercase, for camper resources. And if nobody has any other questions, then we're going to go ahead and close out this meeting. Nick, the AirMed insurance, if you have bought it and you have a confirmation that's on your credit card receipt, then you should be fine. If you really want to, you can call the 800 number and let them know that you want to get a confirmation receipt in the email, and they will send you a confirmation.
Sorry, I was talking about the bikes, like
No,
the
the
bike.
bikes. I'm so sorry.
Okay, so if you bought your bike, if you rented your bike through the link that we provided that said New York City Hub, then those bikes are in our report that is sent to us. The
Got it.
receipt is going to be PBR because they're the one handling the money and handling the whole thing. The only thing we're doing was literally organizing the truck that will be delivered to us. Other than that, they are 100% responsible for the entire thing.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Any other questions before we wrap this up? Okay, very good. If anyone does have any other questions that we didn't cover, please ask it in Slack. This meeting will be recorded and will be available for tomorrow, as of tomorrow, and on the KKBM23 camper resources. And that's pretty much it. Thank you all for joining, and we will see you in the dust.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. See you in the dust.